let's talk about some Pokemon milestones announced in today's Pokemon Presents that came so unexpectedly
Absolutely.
on the day of recording. This is definitely a unique situation.
Really, truly. We rarely, I mean, it's no secret. We record and publish these on Sundays mostly. And so because of that, we rarely get announcements and things on the day of the podcast. Very infrequently.
Yep, but the Pokemon Company does what they want, and thankfully it lined up with us doing what we want. So today we get to talk about...
Imagine if it happened during the podcast. That would be chaos.
That'd be pretty exciting.
Just imagine we're halfway through a top 5 and we just get an announcement for a new Pokemon game.
You'd be like, Sterling, I just looked at my phone and I think we have something to add to the news.
Sterling, press pause.
Pause. Yeah. That will eventually happen.
It's surely, yeah. I mean, it wasn't that far off. We have recorded at that time in the past.
Definitely. We used to record earlier on average. Yeah.
So anyway, but they announced a few pretty spicy things with this.
They did.
We're not going to cover everything.
But there are a few very key points that are very important to us on games that we're still playing. Mm-hmm. That's a big thing about it. First off is Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. There's a Shaman event. Now this is triggered. And yeah, we did need that. That trailer was beautiful.
The environment that Shaman is in looks absolutely gorgeous.
It's like an isolated, beautiful field. It's like Elysium. It's just like some heaven somewhere.
They did this for a lot of these like legendaries in this part of the franchise where they gave them their own little area, especially stuff like that required the e-reader or special events. Like they have this one special area and it's just like very ornately decorated and everything.
Just like they used to have like the glorious boss rooms for like Lugia and Ho-Oh and...
Oh, man.
And a much more, dated visual representation, but it's just the evolution of it, Because when
now we know the straight shot, but just think about the joy back in the day trying to get to Lugia. Like,
dude, I was just talking about this too. I just remember how excited I was when I caught Lugia the first time on Silver.
Just getting to it, like the first few times before you really memorize that path, even with a guide, it just felt really difficult.
I just realized that they started off putting the final evolutions of the starters, but then after that, they never did again.
How do you mean?
Like on the covers of Pokemon games. I never really thought about that.
Yeah, it's always been the box legendaries.
Yeah, red, blue, and green were like, the 3 starter evolution finals,
Mm-hmm. And yellow, yep.
And then you get Pikachu on yellow, and then all of a sudden after that, it's just legendaries. From then on.
Yeah. That's an interesting thought. I never
pretty
really thought
big
about
decision
that.
was made pretty quickly in the franchise's lifetime, huh?
There's something about Ho-Oh and Lugia that just really drove home the mysticism of the games, and I feel like that kind of stuck.
They could have did like Pokemon Pink and Purple though with Mew and Mewtwo.
It's never too late.
We're talking Twilight Zone, Star Road here.
Pink and Purple?
Yeah.
That's so similar to Scarlet and Violet.
It is, isn't it? Kind of,
yeah.
But I mean, that's a pretty good clash. Let's not get too far into the presents though. Mm-hmm. We got the big announcement coming. Anyway, the Oaks letter is what you're going to need for the Shaman event. That's a mystery gift item. You're going to want to claim that before Sunday, March 27th.
Mm-hmm.
And you're also going to want to enter the Hall of Fame and obtain the National Dex. Now, you obtain the National Dex by talking to Professor Rowan after you complete the Sinnoh Dex. Obviously, you enter the Hall of Fame after you defeat the Elite Four.
Right. Okay.
So, and of course, the Dex thing is not... it's not so difficult, right? Because
it's just seen.
It's just seen. Yeah. So,
and it's part of the story for the game, really.
Yeah. So maybe you got some friends. You can get some trading going, grind out the last of it and just so you can get the event going,
Yeah. But you can get the letter at any time.
Oh, yeah.
You
So
just can't use it until then.
You're going to want to claim your letter for sure.
Definitely.
Moving on to Legends Arceus. But you know what? Before we move on, we didn't get any mention of home. We had this conversation earlier, so I kind of glossed over it. But let's just very quickly. I'm thinking we talked about this. Next Pokemon Presents, they're going to say, oh, Ilka home integration. No question. No talks. Nothing mentioned.
Really strange.
Adding events to the game. Supporting the game.
In the last... I mean, this is the first time in a main series Pokemon game recently that home hasn't been at the top of the discussion.
Yeah, it's a great point because let's not forget this is a paid service. I still pay monthly.
Yeah,
like many people in the background are paying, and it's like $2 something.
Even if with Sword and Shield with the scuffed decks, like they were giving us updates when it wasn't available on launch. Like they were like, here's our target, and then that target got close and they said, we're still working on it, here's our target, and then they met that,
and then they integrated Crown Tundra and Isle of Armor and so on and so forth. Yeah,
so I find it kind of curious that we haven't heard anything in the last few public sort of things, but yeah, I mean, that's it. I just find it curious. Are they sunsetting home? Should we be concerned about that? Like, is it going to be replaced by something else again for like the third time? I don't know.
Maybe they're focusing their attention to Scarlet and Violet. Maybe they've been working on Scarlet and Violet. I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Anyway, thought we'd mention that no home yet for Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. I still play Shining Pearl, so I'd like to see some home integration. That'd be great.
I don't have a good explanation as to why it wouldn't just be there.
But let's lighten the mood up. We got a free update for Legends Arceus. Software version update 1.1.0, my friend.
Couldn't have come at a better time because we'll talk about this after in gaming and pickups, but I just beat the main story of the game last night, so
my boy T's been on his grind.
Yep,
glad to see it, bro.
It's been really good, but we'll talk about that later, a little bit later.
Definitely. They're titling this Daybreak, so it seems like we're tracking down some alphas, I guess potentially legendaries. We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah. And
they have a special gift that is definitely what we need to mention on here because actually 30, 30, and 30 on some balls, bro. Ultra balls, Gigaton balls, Jet balls. If you put in the mystery gift password, all caps, Arceus Adventure, you'll get 90 balls total, 30 of each.
Yeah. Are you going to use these? We didn't talk about this earlier.
I mean, why not?
I don't think so. Yeah, it's so funny because in the past I talked about not using them, but that was more in the context of the beginning of the game.
Right. Like this is just like now, supplemental to the game. Like,
yeah,
but
exactly.
You're catching so much more also.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have no issue using these, but really nice to see. And the fact that they have it as a named update, they named it Daybreak. That's interesting to me because that tells me there may be much more, or like at least several more of these, which is pretty exciting to think about.
I think we'll get an expansion. This is probably some bridging content. This is just to show that they're keeping support up for the game. They said you can also battle special Pokemon at the at that dojo. I know it's probably not even
special
called
trainers.
Yeah, you can go over there.
Trainer battles,
which is pretty cool. I mean, that's part of the update.
Definitely. I mean, I don't want to give too much away, but the lack of trainer battles in Arceus in total is pretty noticeable. like you really don't spend much time battling other trainers, and that's partially
You
due to
don't.
just the story of the game, and not that many people are trainers in the game. Like,
It's a great point.
you know,
Yep.
but it's nice to get some more, like get some more options for battling.
Definitely, man. I'm still working my way through the game. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. I have to say that. I've just found myself sidetracked by the endless grind. Just the what's over here? Oh, time to catch
The
6 of it.
backlog. We talk about it. We talk about the backlog.
Oh yeah, but that'll be available until March 31st. The mystery gift code, Arceus Adventure. Put it in, get it, don't miss out.
So March 27th for the Shaman event and March 31st for the Arceus gift.
That is correct. Yep. They also announced production has begun on an animated series based in the Hisui region. Anticipated to launch, like we wanted to say specifically, anticipated to launch later this year.
I have a big interest in this.
I do too.
I mean,
when we're talking
secret.
about lore here. We're talking about like origins.
We're talking about Pokemon anime. Like, this is our roots, right? And they've done it a lot of different ways. Some of them I've loved, some of them I haven't been as excited about. But, you know, this puts me more in the mindset of something like Pokemon Origins, which is something that I shared with you that was sort of web-only anime content that they created.
Yeah.
This gives me that same sort of vibe, and I absolutely love that series. So I'm really excited to see that they're continuing to make like this type of content. Really, really excited.
Without question, dude. I'm very interested in this.
And the Hisui region is one that actually has my interest. They did enough with world building in the game to make me interested in continuing to learn this backstory.
Definitely, because like this is the roots of the roots. This is the origin of the origin. This is
Yeah,
I like where they're going with all this, man.
I do too. Pokemon is getting love, and you know, Sterling's about to explain the biggest reason why, but you know, that's always been our number one like addiction from day one. So
Yep.
it's never going to be out of interest for us.
No. But the final big announcement on the Presents is the next generation of Pokemon. And it's Pokemon Scarlet, Pokemon Scarlet, and Pokemon Violet.
Sterling, before we say anything, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Are you going to look into purchasing Scarlet or Violet? Just knee-jerk for yourself. I know that you'll end up getting both for you and your partner, but just for you specifically, just knee-jerk reaction.
My knee-jerk reaction is that I know my girl's going to want Violet, so I'm probably already definitely arm behind my back getting Scarlet. Now, that's very rare for me because I always get the second version.
And that's what I was going to say. I always get the first. Always. But purple is my favorite color.
So you were going to get Violet?
I'm going to get Violet,
oh, well,
most
then,
likely.
There's no question that I'm going to get Scarlet then, because it just makes sense in my life.
And it's funny, too, because Ruby was your other first.
It was. Yep. You're absolutely correct.
Yep. So it's on the same wavelength.
I think it's just meant. It's just meant to be.
Yeah. But yeah, man, really excited. They showed not a lot. They
just showed us the starters, really.
They showed us the starters. They showed us a little bit of the graphics and sort of what looked like a big city in the region, which I saw people talking about represents like Spain and Portugal, and a lot of the starters attributes are references to like Spanish culture and lore, which is really cool. So really excited to see where they take this flavor and put like the Spanish twist on Pokemon. I'm actually really looking forward to that.
Absolutely, dude.
Every region that they've done, for the outside of Japan sort of regions with, they did sort of France and they did, the UK, like with Galar and everything. It's always so interesting to get their take on these different cultures. So, and I think, Spain and Portugal, the Iberian Peninsula, sort of that is going to lend itself really well to Pokemon.
Definitely. I'm looking forward to it. I'm glad with the geographical choice. And the big thing here, I wanted to save it, but let's talk about the starters.
Okay, let's do it.
So we got this cute grass cat that I know my girl's going to pick already. Sprigatito. We've got this cute, this dude couldn't be more cute. Little dinosaur looking guy, man, named Fue Coco. And then we've got this swaggin' white duckling with this gelled back Elvis hair.
Pompadour.
He's got it going on, and his name is Quaxley. Now, this is always the biggest decision, but who are you drafting, bro?
You already know.
Do I know? Are you drafting Quaxley because of the swag?
Fue Coco all the way.
Oh, dude, I'm doing Fue Coco too anyway. I don't care if you are too.
Doesn't matter. I'm you know me, man. I'm fire every time.
And I'm not fire every time. I'm fire sometimes, but in this situation, I need Fue Coco.
I think it's going to be a fire dragon type, and I cannot pass that up.
And I love the personality. I was reading this article on Games Radar, and he's described as laid back fire Pokemon that does things at his own pace. I'm all about that chill. I'm all about that chill nature.
That's the Star Road podcast in a nutshell.
Absolutely, dude. So that's so funny. Collaborative starter pick, Fue Coco. There we go.
Love Fue Coco, man. Can't wait to see what its final forms look like.
Yeah,
Cannot
but
wait.
shout out to the other two. I really like the designs of these starters. I really do. A lot of times new starters come out and people have their mixed opinions on them. I think they look fine. I think all of them are cute,
Yeah, man. I think that I think it's going to be tough to choose, even though we're so dead set. Like, there's no wrong choice.
If Quaxley evolves into Elvis, I might have to restart my run.
Another save file. Or just get it traded over.
Second copy, yeah.